A foggy night in Whitechapel, London, 1888. In the shadowy alleys of Whitechapel, London, a figure lurks. He is known only by the name given by the fearful masses, Jack the Ripper. The fog conceals many secrets, but none more chilling than the Ripper's trail of terror. Inspector Frederick Aberline enters, his face stern and determined. He walks with purpose, scanning the streets. Inspector Aberline. To himself. Another grisly murder. Marianne Nichols, a life snuffed out in the darkness. Who are you, Jack? Why this savagery? A shadowy figure, Jack, dressed in a long coat and hat, watches from the shadows. Jack, whispering to himself. The streets of Whitechapel are my canvas and blood, my ink. They seek to understand, to catch a phantom. But how does one catch the wind? Emma, singing. The night's as dark as the deeds that hide. But the truth shall come out, no matter how we try. Emma and Aberline share a tense moment. Emma, sighing. Fred, these streets are no place for a woman alone. The Ripper walks among us, and yet we continue as if nothing has changed. Aberline, softly. Emma, I'm close. I can feel it. He's a ghost, slipping through our fingers, but ghosts can be caught. The double murder night. Jack, smiling grimly. 2 souls tonight. One for the shadow, one for the light. My message will be clear. He moves swiftly, a flash of steel, and the stage goes dark. A scream pierces the night. The Ripper struck again, leaving terror and confusion in his wake. Elizabeth and Catherine, the unfortunate double event, as it would be known. The city trembled, yet the killer vanished as swiftly as he came. Back at Scotland Yard, Aberline pores over maps and reports. His frustration was palpable. Aberline, slamming the table. Damn it. He mocks us, dances just beyond our reach. We need a break, something to turn the tide. An informant rushes in with new evidence. A mysterious letter claiming to be from the Ripper, mocking the police. Informant. Sir, a letter. Signed from hell. He toys with us. Aberline, reading aloud. Catch me if you can, Mr. Aberline. The audacity! He believes himself untouchable, but arrogance will be his downfall. The elusive end. Aberline. Voiceover. We never caught him. The shadow faded, leaving only the chill of fear. Jack the Ripper, a name etched in infamy, vanished into the annals of history. But in the shadows, his specter remains, a grim reminder of the darkness within us all. And so the Ripper's reign ended, not with a capture, but with a whisper. The fog of Whitechapel lifted, but the fear lingered. For in the heart of London, the legend of Jack the Ripper would never truly fade. Hoffa, agitated. Where are they? Tony Pro and Tony Jack should be here by now. Always late, those mobsters. Hoffa paces, muttering to himself about the upcoming meeting to discuss his return to power in the Teamsters. Suddenly, a maroon Mercury pulls up. 2 men, Anthony Provenzano and Anthony Giacalone, step out. Provenzano, smiling. Jimmy, good to see you. Let's take a ride and discuss things. Hoffa hesitates, then nods. They all get into the car. The Betrayal, a modest house in northwest Detroit. The interior is dimly lit. Hoffa, Provenzano, and Giacalone enter. Hoffa, looking around. This place is a dump. What's going on? Provenzano, coldly. Business, Jimmy. Just business. As Hoffa turns to question them, Frank Sheeran enters from another room looking tense. Sheeran, grimly. I'm sorry, Jimmy. It's got to be this way. Sheeran pulls out a gun. Hoffa's eyes widened in shock. Hoffa, disbelief. You? After everything? Sheeran shoots Hoffa twice in the back of the head. Hoffa falls. The room is silent except for the distant hum of a refrigerator. The aftermath. The exterior of a trash incinerator in the Detroit suburbs. The night is pitch black. Provenzano and Giacalone stand by as Sheeran drives up in a different car, the trunk ominously closed. Provenzano, to Giacalone. Quick and clean, just like we planned. No one will find him. They open the trunk, revealing Hoffa's wrapped body. They dispose of it in the incinerator. And so, Jimmy Hoffa vanished, leaving behind a legacy marked by power, corruption, and an unsolved mystery that continues to captivate the world. The theories. Various locations, including a newsroom, a mob meeting room, and a courtroom. Various characters, journalists, mobsters, and FBI agents discuss theories about Hoffa's disappearance. Journalist 1. There's talk he was ground up in a trash compactor and dumped in a landfill. FBI agent. We've investigated countless tips from being buried under a stadium to being fed to alligators in Florida. Nothing conclusive. Mobster. Smiling. The truth? It's better left a mystery. The legacy. A dimly lit room with a portrait of Hoffa on the wall. An aged man, Hoffa's son, stands in front of it holding a candle. Hoffa's son, softly. They say power corrupts, but my father, he was more than the myths and stories. He fought for the working man. The truth of his end? Only the shadows know. Christmas Eve, 1945. The Sodder family home in Fayetteville, West Virginia. The house is festive, with Christmas decorations and lights. The family gathers around enjoying the holiday. On a quiet Christmas Eve in 1945, the Sodder family home was filled with warmth and laughter. George and Jennie Sodder, along with 9 of their 10 children, prepared for the night. Jennie, smiling. Let's turn in, kids. Santa's coming soon! The children head to bed, with the younger ones, Maurice, 14, Martha, 12, Louis, 9, Jennie, 8, and Betty, 5, staying up a little later to play with their new toys. The phone call and the fire. Around midnight, Jennie is startled awake by the ringing phone. She answers it groggily. Jennie, on the phone. Hello? Strange woman, laughing. Is this the home of unintelligible? Oh, wrong number. Jennie hears clinking glasses and laughter before the line goes dead. She hangs up, puzzled, and notices the lights are still on and the door unlocked. She turns off the lights and locks the door before returning to bed. Suddenly, a loud bang followed by a rolling noise disturbs the quiet. Moments later, Jennie wakes to the smell of smoke. Jennie, panicked. George, wake up! The house is on fire! George and Jennie quickly gather their youngest daughter, Sylvia, and their older children, John, Marion, and George Jr. They run outside, desperately trying to save the others. George attempts to rescue the children trapped in the attic, but the ladder is missing, and his trucks won't start. George, frantic. The ladder! Where's the ladder? The family watches helplessly as the house is consumed by flames. The next morning, the house is reduced to ashes. The fire department arrives too late, finding no remains. The fire department arrived at dawn, too late to save the house or the 5 missing children. Officially, the fire was blamed on faulty wiring, but the Sodders were unconvinced. The telephone line had been cut and the lights had stayed on despite the alleged electrical fault. George and Jennie, unable to accept that their children perished in the fire, begin a tireless search for answers. Jennie, determined. There must be something, some clue. Bones don't just disappear. George, resolute. We will find them, Jennie. We have to. The search for the truth. Various locations as the Sodders investigate the disappearance. The family receives numerous reports of sightings and tips. Over the years, George and Jennie receive reports of sightings of their children in various places. Witnesses claim to have seen the children in a car or accompanied by Italian-speaking adults. A private investigator discovered that the fire chief had hidden a supposed heart in a box at the scene, which turned out to be beef liver. George erects a billboard offering a reward for information about their children's whereabouts, but their efforts yield no definitive answers. A memorial site for the Sodder children. The billboard stands tall, a haunting reminder of the mystery. For decades, the Sodders never gave up hope. Theories about the children's fate range from kidnapping to accidental deaths. The billboard remained a symbol of their enduring search for the truth. Jennie wears black for the rest of her life, mourning the loss of her children. The mystery remains unsolved, a tragic tale of loss and unanswered questions. The mystery lives on, a quiet moment at the memorial. The Sodder children's disappearance remains one of the most enduring mysteries of the 20th century. The questions linger, unanswered as the shadows of that fateful night continue to haunt those left behind.